I'll be talking. All right, we're going to start with the Fanatics update. I don't know if people caught this. Mike Rubin, the CEO of Fanatics, was on CNBC, and he said some pretty interesting things that got glossed over. I know Fondra Trove covered it, so formerly
Yeah, some
known
people
as
talked about it. A few people talked
Kappa
about
J
it.
Cards. So, which was good. A few people did talk about it, but people didn't really talk about it, which I was surprised. Not like when it got announced that they were buying all these things, people were just going bananas or losing the plot. So, he said a few interesting things. I watched the video, I summarized it. So, the gist of it all is they want to centralize the hobby. That's the gist of it. They want to be the all-encompassing being of the hobby. They want to control everything. So Ruben pretty much wants to, as he said here, direct to consumer. He wants to provide that. He wants to provide distribution. He wants to provide breaking. He wants to provide insurance on cards, a marketplace to buy and sell cards, a vault, and he wants to provide grading for the cards. He wants it to be a one-stop shop for trading cards, Fanatics. So, be that as it may, Source, just want to get your take, and we can give each other's takes just quickly on this. I saw a few people saying, "Oh, LCSs are finished." I disagree with that. I think the most heavily hit people out of all of this would be distribution companies. If Fanatics want to take control off of that, it's obviously going to be a major hit to those distribution companies because it's going to leave them with unlicensed product for basketball, football, and baseball. That's what they're going to be distributing to LCSs, pretty much. They'll get access to all the other stuff as well, entertainment cards, soccer cards, all that, which is good. But the big three, they're going to take a massive hit on that. As simple as that.
Yeah,
they
for sure.
will only be providing unlicensed products. So I think they cop it the most. And I also think that grading companies will cop it in some sense. I don't know to what degree. I genuinely think in the next 5 years, if BGS does nothing, I think a company like HGA might surpass them, and them and PSA will be the two that will run the show. But it would not surprise me if one of the big companies gets bought out. I understand that people keep saying to me, yeah, but Fanatics have a grading department. That's fine. That's all well and true. Or they can just go out and buy a BGS or a PSA and use the $18 million that they're worth and pump money into them and make them better than anything in their wildest dreams.
Yeah. Look, Donna, I'm not surprised that he said these things because, if we go back to our, IG Live that we did when the initial news broke, which is generally how we do these, we'll jump on an IG Live and talk about it. We just didn't on this occasion, so we thought we'll bring it up in Hobby Talk. Why not? We mentioned this. We're like, they've got the power to actually do everything. People saying they're going to buy Panini, they're going to buy Tops. They
don't have to.
You never know. They might buy them just to get the licenses so they can keep producing national treasures or certain cards and sets. Buy the rights to it, yeah. But genuinely think they could just do everything. And then this sort of sounds that way. And your theory why LCSs won't be done is because they'll do something like, they'll sort of be eating up the portion of profits that distribution used to take up before it got to the LCSs. So they'll make more money anyway, going direct to LCSs. And then they can even do things like, getting LCSs that do their breaks through YouTube or whatever, and having things like this break is sponsored by Fanatics. They supplied us with all the stock direct from them. And, that's more promotion for their company and more, you mentioned this to me, Domo. I'm like, it makes a lot of sense.
It honestly could be that. It could be like they say the agreement is like for us to distribute to you, you got to take on X amount. And whatever you break out of these X amount of boxes, we get a cut of 5% or 2%. Even if it's 2%, you just think they do that for over 100 breakers and they do, I don't know, 10,000, 20,000 breaks across X amount of breakers, like, mate, and they're earning 2%. They'll be making hundreds of thousands of dollars just for doing nothing, for
On breaks,
providing
and
their
then they're
product.
going to supply a marketplace.
Yep, which then they'll take fees as well, which so everything that they sell to you, when you go to sell it back to someone else, they'll make continual fees for the rest of their existence. I'm telling you what, if it works out the way it is, for example, they were worth 18 billion, just say tomorrow they're worth 18 billion in 2026. All right. And we start production there with cards, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you right now, the evaluation of the company will not be $18 billion, mate, in 2027. If they start, like, literally, if they launch and they've got all of this stuff in place, it's game over, mate. They'll just be taking fees for everything.
What's to stop them from actually creating the marketplace prior and actually getting people to start using it and get familiar with it? If that's their plan. Like, why can't they
Exactly
have a
right.
marketplace up and running in 12 months from now?
I don't see why not.
So, like, I mean, the way that they're going to put these plans in, you know, it's not something that they're going to wait 5 years to drop it on you. Like, so some of this stuff can start happening now.
I think it will,
Um,
because then they'll just start incentivizing people in terms of, like, they may not even say anything, but it might be like if you're an early adopter on their thing, they might come out one day in 18 months after they launch and say, oh, we're launching in 2 years or a year and a half. And if you're an early adopter of the Fanatics marketplace platform, then you get X. You know what I mean? It's like we upgrade you to the pro version automatically. You
might
know,
have
how do you
data
know?
tracking or whatever they're doing, looking
Exactly.
to
You
do
don't
that.
know. You don't know. Like,
Yeah.
they literally have the war chest to do whatever they want.
They really do, Dom, man. This is why we was like, you know, we sort of, when the initial news came out, we're like, oh, this is interesting. You know, they really got the money backing to make it all. I mean, you know, look no further than, like, I mean, I don't want to throw. I'm not throwing shade, but, you know, someone like Golden that got the funding and then they've been saying they're working on a new platform. I mean, they still haven't released their new platform. You know, it's fallen behind. I generally don't understand when you get all that money, well, why it's taking so long. Look, I don't know the technical size for it, but you'd think when you've got all that funding, you can, you know, make it happen. So, you know, if they get these things right and then are able to do some of that stuff, and then even to the point where they might even start doing higher end stuff because they do KYC. Maybe they have a KYC system where they employ this system that allows you to bid on high end cards and everything. So, like, I mean, they're gonna go after every piece of the pie. Let's be
100%
honest.
they will. Oh,
That's
and I don't understand why they wouldn't.
that's sort of what we gained from that CNBC interview. And what's really stood out to me is they're really going to push for it all. Pretty interesting, if you ask me.
It's expected, but so anyone that thought that they're not going to do it, just think about what billion means. Billion. You know, like, billion is 1,000 million. Like, that's a lot of money. Like, I don't know. Anyone that doubted it, don't doubt it, because, man, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. And the whole thing that everyone's always said as well, this is the last thing on it, is everyone's always said, oh, there's no centralized person in this hobby. There's no centralized person in this hobby. No one is the watchdog in terms of, like, setting prices and doing this and doing that and blah, blah, blah. Fanatics are going to become that. You know, and it's, people will be like, yeah, I understand, but, you know, there's still all other grading companies and there's other, like, there's Panini and this, but it's not going to matter. They're the centralized main figure in the hobby and everyone goes to them for everything. That's the way it works. It's just, you just hope that they do a good job. Well, that's what we hope. they've got the funds to definitely fix any issues if they do arise. I can tell you that much. So anyway,
Yeah.
time will tell, and we'll see what happens.
Let's see.
That.
Let's
All right,
see.
Sauce.
Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports, double coverage.